live stream this morning. Sorry, it looks like I'm about 2 minutes late. So we didn't get up as early as I had planned on, but we're back with another live stream. And if you guys are watching this in the future, if this is the playback, if you're not watching it live, know that we do these live streams every morning at 9. So feel free to check that out if you're interested in the future. So let's first of all flip over to the charts and see what we've got. We have a couple of interesting stocks on watch today. You can see NVIDIA, or sorry, we'll look at NVIDIA in a second, but AMC is actually up a decent amount, right? Getting back up above 40 bucks. I know a lot of viewers of the channel are interested in AMC as well as GME, but we'll look at that in a minute. But PROG doing very well, right? Staying above 360. They actually got up above it in after hours yesterday, and they're doing pretty good. Saucy Fredo says, let's go PROG. And Mohammed Kadi says, good morning, man. Good morning. We're excited to be back with another one of these live streams. I do enjoy these a lot. So if anyone has any suggestions for stocks, feel free to shout it out in the comment section. I love looking at interesting companies that I haven't heard of before. So PROG, though, is doing very well. It looks like we had an amazing bounce off of $3 2 days ago, and we're just moving up and up. So hopefully we'll start putting some pressure on shorts pretty soon, right? I think to do that, we're going to have to get back up above 4 before they start feeling the heat. And Mohammed Kadi says, what is up with EVAX? We'll take a look at that. EVAX. That'll be the first stock recommendation of the day. So biotech company likely was pumping up to, oh, actually, no, I think we looked at this yesterday. I think this is the one that pumped up on no news. I think it had no news, I'm pretty sure. It was just a small market cap, and some traders or some whales got involved in it. And then it started, eventually, trending down. But it did get up all the way to 50 bucks from lows of $5.30. So I'm pretty sure there was no news for this. It was just a trader's move. But we'll pull up the market cap for it real quick, because I think it was very small and thus easy to manipulate the price. No, maybe this isn't the one I was thinking of. Maybe this isn't the one. $243 million market cap. There was another stock that was a very small market cap and got up to 50 bucks. So let's see. Halted on circuit breaker. This was the third that this happened on, and yeah, there was no news. Maybe this was the one. It was just a relatively low market cap, and yeah, it looks like it was just a trader's move on EVAX. Just some maybe potential manipulation, right? Though to the upside, so anyone holding this was benefited by that. So let's see. Saucy Fredo, can we keep an eye on PROG, OCGN, DWAC, and PHUN and SPEA? Yeah, we will. We'll definitely look at all of those. Christopher Wong says, morning, what about NRXP? We will watch that. And Ambition 2020 says, top of the morning to you as well. And Dapper Romeo, BBBY, possible $30 plus bull run. I'm pretty sure Dapper Romeo is a bot. I'm pretty sure that has been confirmed. Dapper Romeo definitely just pops in every now and then and has a somewhat generic plug for a stock. So RWLK may go bananas today. We'll look at RWLK and then NRXP. So RWLK, yeah, it's up big in after hours. Okay, that's pretty cool. Up from about 130 to 189. So not a bad move on RWLK. And UFOs Are Real says, watching ape stocks today. Yeah, I decided to take a look at these because they did have a bit of a pump up. At least AMC got back up above its old support of 40 bucks, and you never know, it could be on its way up. So we will take a look at AMC, and GME we'll take a look at too. Not doing as well as AMC, it looks like, but over the past 30 days, it's been doing pretty well. But AMC has an earnings call coming up, so we'll see if some traders want to get into AMC before the weekend, because it looks like that earnings call is Monday afternoon. So we'll see what happens with AMC. Good morning, Rob, says Nilesh Patel. Happy Friday, man. I'm glad it's Friday. This was a long week, and I've still got a lot of work to do after this stream, so... UFOs Are Real says, dude, it's coming, can't wait. Yeah, we'll see what happens at the earnings call. It could be interesting. Now, what was the other side? NVIDIA had an amazing day yesterday on some really cool metaverse news. If you guys didn't see the video, I'll pull up what happened with NVIDIA yesterday and inform you guys, because it is interesting. Let's see if I can't find the same article that I had yesterday. So... I think this could be it. This could be the one. It's not the one. All right, let's find this NVIDIA article. It's not the most important what the article was, but they are pumping up on metaverse news. And if you guys haven't heard of the metaverse, you should get informed about what the metaverse is, because it is likely the way we're going to be moving in the future, right, into virtual reality. So Emily says, good morning, Emily, and Daryl Borrego, PHUN. Yeah, PHUN. It had actually an interesting move in the pre-market. And let's see it right here. You can see that we did pump up quite a bit in the pre-market, all the way to $4.60 before quickly giving back most of those gains. Let's see what the news on that was. Okay, so they're buying Bitcoin. So it had a similar effect to what we saw when they announced their Bitcoin computers, right? That they were accepting Bitcoin for computers. It ended up pumping the stock up very temporarily before subsiding. However, this seems to be a little bit more bullish, right? Because this actually could have an effect on what the company is worth fundamentally. The fact that PHUN is accepting Bitcoin doesn't change things that much, but the fact that they're buying and holding Bitcoin, if Bitcoin does well, then PHUN could do well also. So this could be a good thing for them. This could be very good for PHUN. The fact that they're buying Bitcoin and holding it, that they're basically making their company synonymous with investing in Bitcoin. That could be good. So they bought more Bitcoin at an average price of 62,000. Let's see. Was it a good buy? Well, it looks like right now they're losing some money, right? Bitcoin's down to 61.5. So not the best buy on it, but they could have gotten it a little bit cheaper if they waited, but decent, right? I mean, the fact, we are at all-time highs pretty much, so we'll see what happens with it, but maybe it'll keep going up. I'm not too sure about that, though. But back to NVIDIA. If you look on Reddit and Wall Street Bets, NVIDIA is the #1 top trending stock. 1,300 mentions, almost 12,000 upvotes. Not quite as many upvotes as Tesla, but it is newer news, right? Tesla's been surging for a while. NVIDIA, not so much. Jordan Israel Peterson, morning LMAZ, morning Jordan. Good morning, Jordan. But NVIDIA, let's pull it up over to this chart over here. So NVIDIA pumped up pretty big yesterday on news that they were getting an analyst upgrade. An analyst upgraded them. Let's see if we can't pull it up here. So an analyst upgraded them. They had a price rating of $245 from Wells Fargo, and that got bumped up to $320, and they almost got to $320 on that day, right? They started the day, or they ended the day prior at $266, and that day they saw highs of $313, so massive gains for NVIDIA. And the reason the analysts were upgrading NVIDIA so much, let's pull it up. It's because of the NVIDIA Omniverse. Now, this is a platform that it's a software platform that NVIDIA sells or allows people to subscribe to, that lets creators, designers, and engineers connect design tools to a virtual VR space, basically a collaborative VR space where they can generate projects. Like you can see over here, they can build all kinds of fancy stuff in VR using NVIDIA's Omniverse. And the reason that NVIDIA is doing this is because they're betting that the metaverse is going to be the future of the world, right? That we're going to start doing more stuff in VR, and they want to be a part of it. So they're selling their subscription service for $9,000 a year. That gets you a couple creator spots, a couple spectators. Manny C says, good morning, Rob. Let's go, Mark. Yeah, let's take a look at Mark. And Zach says, good morning, Rob. I believe it's pronounced NVIDIA, not NVIDIA. Yeah, NVIDIA. I should know that. One of my friends works there. So let's see. M-A-R-K, NVIDIA. Yeah, that's probably more correct. So yeah, Mark, let's see. We are unfortunately still dipping below 2. So we'd like to get back up to 2. We'd like to get back up there, but that is a ways away at this point, right? We're about 23 cents away from where we currently are. That's unfortunate. Maybe we can get back up there. We'll have to see if there's any good news coming out for DWAC or PHUN. PHUN actually got a little boost today. For those of you who are new, who haven't been in the stream this whole time, you can see PHUN was up to $4.60 this pre-market. They bounced off on one bar from $4.12 up to $4.60 before coming back down. Now they're at $4.25, but this is because they are buying more Bitcoin, right? They bought some Bitcoin at an average price of $62,000. And for those of you who weren't watching a minute ago, not the best buy, right? Bitcoin is now trading at $61,500. So not the best buy on their part, right? So it's down a little bit, but I think people are buying into them because it could impact their underlying business model in a fundamental way, right? They could actually end up performing well with the Bitcoin investment, and that would then raise the price of the stock, justifiably so. So they're doing decently. We'll have to see what happens if they really get taken by the Bitcoin crowd. If Bitcoin investors really start piling into PHUN, that would be interesting to see. If they can swap that out from the Trump investors who are investing in them because of the DWAC merger and all that, it'll be interesting to see if PHUN can pivot and get taken up by another group of traders as well. So we'll have to see what they do with that. It looks like they're currently trying, at least right now, to be taken on by Bitcoin investors. They've been trying for a while. You can see, if you guys were keeping up with the live streams, then on October 29th, they started accepting Bitcoin for their light personal computers. So they were trying to get in with the Bitcoin community then. That wasn't enough. It didn't serve the stock very well. They didn't pump up on that news. They actually were downtrending on the 29th. So let's see. The 29th was right here. And they announced the news right around this green bar and then just kind of downtrended the rest of the day. So it didn't really save them that much. But we'll see. Maybe it's different today, right? This is a much bigger buy. It looks like a much bigger boost in price than they saw when they were just buying or when they were just accepting Bitcoin. So actually buying has seemed to improve the price a bit more. And Saucy Fredo, what's OCGN doing? We'll see what OCGN is all about. So it looks like, yeah, $10 might be acting as the support for them. They're starting to consolidate at $10. So they were down below it yesterday, and they got bumped back up to it, and $10 is looking like a pretty sticky level. Every time they move off of it in one direction, they get sucked back in. So they were up to 11 in the pre-market, and it looks like they're going to be opening around 10 or close to it at least. We're getting close to 10 right now, and we've got about 15 minutes left of pre-market, and we're at 10.03. So we'll see what happens with OCGN, but it looks like 10 is acting as a somewhat sticky level, which all things considered is actually good, right, for OCGN, because they were in a massive downtrend over the past 2 days. And if it weren't for $10, they might continue. They may have continued to trend down. So it's not to say that they can't, right? The fact that we saw little volatility around 10 doesn't mean they won't move down, but we do have an earnings call coming up. We're going to have to see what happens with that. And Hassan Gardezi says, do you follow BNGO? Not the closest. I have heard of BNGO just because it's a popular stock on Robinhood, but I don't actually follow it too closely. It looks like they've had a couple bad earnings calls, not horrible earnings calls for a company that's likely still in their R&D phase. Bionanogenomics. That sounds like a promising name. Let's see what they're all about. I'm curious about this one. BNGO. Definitely heard of it. Good name, good ticker symbol. That seems like a popular one. Sounds like bingo. So stocks that have popular ticker symbol names like that tend to, over the long-term studies have shown, perform better than stocks with kind of random ticker symbols. So let's see what BNGO is doing. Bionanogenomics Inc. Bionanogenomics Inc. is a life sciences instrumentation company which focuses on genome analysis space. The firm engages in the development and marketing of Sapphire System, a platform for ultra-sensitive and ultra-specific structure variation detection that enables researchers and clinicians to accelerate the search for new diagnostic and therapeutic targets and streamline cytogenics. All right, so a bunch of science. That's what they do. They do a bunch of science. And I'm not going to pretend to understand what they're doing, but it sounds like it's useful stuff for some people, right? They have, let's see what their market cap is. They've got a $1.7 billion market cap. So NJ says, good morning, Rob. Did you see that TD Ameritrade is banning options to short for stocks on their platform, DW and AMC being two of them? Yeah, I did, actually. I covered that in a DWAC video, but we can pull up the news. And Zach actually pointed that out to me even before I saw it. So thank you, Zach, for that. I do appreciate those emails where you shout stuff out to me. But let's see if we can't find that news. So for DWAC, TD Ameritrade places restrictions here. Let's see if we can't pull up the article itself. So, no, not that one. That's not what we want. Here we go. Here's the one. Right from TD Ameritrade's mouth. So, securities with increased margin requirements and trading strategy limits. For those of you who haven't heard about this, this will be your first introduction to it. But a couple days ago, November 2nd, about 3 days ago, TD Ameritrade put in some restrictions for some stocks. And Noble H says, "Happy Friday, Rob. Yes, let's close the week green." I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping that we can close it green. So some symbols that they've restricted trading strategies for are DWAC, and we'll cover GME in a second. But short selling is not allowed at this time. Basically, they're saying you can't short DWAC stock on their platform anymore. And GME, the same thing. You can't short the stock on their platform anymore. There are also some strange option limitations that they put in place, but those don't affect the price of the stock as much as the fact that you can't short it on TD Ameritrade. So yeah, DWAC and AMC, or AMC, I think actually, let me pull up that article again. I think it said that we will potentially be putting some additional restrictions in place for AMC. I'm not sure if that actually meant there were any restrictions currently. So symbol AMC, we may also implement additional requirements on opening trades on options that expire. So I don't know, unless they updated it. Is AMC a stock that can't be shorted on TD Ameritrade? I'm not sure. As of that article, it was still shortable, it looks like. At least they didn't say it wasn't shortable in that article, but maybe there's something else, something that I missed that didn't that was mentioned elsewhere, potentially. If we look at AMC's news, let's see actually. Let's see, I'm not seeing anything from TD. Yeah, maybe it is. I just haven't seen it. If it is though, but I did want to point out for those of you who are interested in the cryptos, looks like Shiba is moving down a little bit. We're down 6% on the day. I was looking at this in the pre-market. Well, not that it has a pre-market, but in the stock market pre-market, and it's not looking great for Shiba, right? The fact that it's off its all-time highs with this kind of a thing, you know, when you look at the Doge, it's not necessarily the be-all, end-all of Shiba Inu continuing, the fact that it's at all-time highs. But let me pull up Dogecoin's chart, and we'll see what we can glean from looking at the history of Dogecoin. You're correct, not AMC, GME. Yep, okay, there we go. So let's see. Over the past year, what happened with Dogecoin? Well, we could be in for a couple different scenarios, right? You're looking at Shiba Inu. It's risen a lot. It stagnated a little bit, and then it rose some more, and now it's dipped. So you can look at that, and you could potentially compare it to Dogecoin, right? You could say Dogecoin rose a lot, stagnated a bit, then it rose a lot and dipped, and then it had its massive rally. So maybe you could draw a comparison between that and what Shiba's doing. You could say, you know, it rose, it rallied, it dipped, and are we in for the next leg of the rally? Potentially. If we follow the exact same pattern as Dogecoin, we might be in for the next leg of the rally. However, Shiba Inu reached a much larger market cap right now than Dogecoin did, I believe. Or maybe it's similar, but I think it got much higher than Dogecoin, right? It actually beat out Dogecoin's market cap. So really large market cap at these peaks that we saw on Shiba Inu coin. And Dogecoin really did have the help of Elon Musk, right? Everybody knew about Dogecoin. My friends knew about Dogecoin when it was pumping up, and they weren't even, you know, some of them weren't even interested in crypto or the stock market. It was just all over the internet that people were hearing about Dogecoin. So with Shiba Inu, I think it's a bit of a different story. You know, I've asked some of my friends if they've ever heard of it, and they haven't. So I'm not sure. We'll see. Maybe we are in for the next leg of the rally pretty soon, but we'll have to see. It's not the best to see a coin like this that is rallying off momentum start dipping, because that could be an indication that we're experiencing the end of momentum, and we could be moving down with Shiba Inu. So I know a lot of people wouldn't be happy about that, but we'll see. We could be in for the next leg, though, if we follow Dogecoin's patterns in the past. I just don't know if Shiba is the exact same situation as Dogecoin. So, looks like we've got 40 viewers and 17 likes. Let's see if we can't bump that up just a touch. Let's bump it up maybe to 20, 25. We'll see if we can do it. That would be nice to get some more people in the stream. It's always helpful, guys. I always really appreciate the likes that you guys throw down on not just the live streams, but the videos as well, I've noticed. Since I've started live streaming, the videos have been getting a couple more likes, and I think I have you guys to thank. So thank you very much for that. But we're getting very close to market open, and I might make a little bit of coffee real quick. I actually have the coffee right there. It's instant coffee. It's right to my left or to my right. So I'll be right back in 1 second, but you guys can still potentially hear what I'm doing. So. All right, there we go. We've got the water heating up. It'll be done in just a second, and then I'll quickly run back and grab the coffee. But let's see. DWAC and PHUN today. Good morning, says Daniel Borrego. Good morning, man. Good morning, Joseph. Morning, Joseph. PFE. What is that? Let's see what PFE is. Not pen. PFE. Whew. The keyboard ain't working today. Okay, yeah, PFE up big from 43 up to 48 bucks. Looks like we have a little either support or resistance. Yeah, we had a resistance line drawn. They did bump up on their earnings call up to 46 and got bounced off of it a couple of times. But now they've blasted through, so this could actually be a runner today. That's interesting, yeah. And they've reached highs of 51 in the past, so they could have a little bit to go before we see the next level of resistance. In fact, let's actually draw a little line on PFE. Over the past year, looks like 51 or 50, yeah, 51 would probably be potentially 50 would act as resistance as well. That's a tough one. We'll see what happens with it, but we'll just draw a line maybe at 50, 51. We'll draw a couple lines just to see which one actually ends up acting as resistance. 50 is a stronger psychological level, but they have seemed to get past it in the past. So we'll see what happens with PFE, with Pfizer. Yeah, they've been doing good, though. They've been doing good. So, Adam Walsh, are you buying the dip on DKNG? Is that Dunkin' Donuts? Is that DraftKings? Yeah, okay. I'm not buying the dip on DraftKings. I think I might own DraftKings, actually. Let me see if I own any DraftKings in the M1. And do any of you guys use M1 Finance? I'm curious because I do, and I just got the M1 card, but the downside to it is you need to own all the stocks in the pie to get cash back on them. And the unfortunate aspect of that is there are a bunch of stocks you can get cash back on. Yeah, I do actually own. I own a little bit of DraftKings, so I'm not buying the dip, but I own some DraftKings. So yeah, no, I'm not buying the dip on DraftKings. If I did deposit more money in the M1 Finance, it would automatically buy the dip. So it's kind of like your own ETF situation with with M1 Finance, where you can buy into pies of stock that you've developed and hold. In 1 second, let me just grab this cup of coffee. Okay. And guys, I will have you know, this is actually going to be my first cup of coffee in a very long time. I haven't had a cup of coffee in at least over a month. I wasn't the biggest coffee drinker to begin with, but I haven't had one in over a month. I was doing sober October. So no drug use, no caffeine even, no alcohol, no nothing over the whole month of October. So no caffeine. It'll be interesting to see what the caffeine is like after not having any. I don't think I've had any caffeine since. So we'll see. NVIDIA, it looks like on the we're getting close to open, and it is tanking down, getting close to $300. Right? We'll see if 300 acts as a support today for NVIDIA. Hopefully, it will. And DKNG, it looks like we are unfortunately moving down on this earnings news, but I do own some, but I'm not buying the dip. AMC though, AMC, it looks like we were moving up. Now we're starting to dip come open, but we're still above $40, which I think could be good. And DWAC, of course, we're opening pretty much exactly where we closed. Right, we barely moved. So let's see. So we've missed a lot of comments while I've been making this cup of coffee. So let's start at the top. Nick says Shiba has too many coins out there, and almost 72% of them owned by just 10 whale wallets. Yeah, which is potentially why the price has been able to rise so much, right? Because if those whale wallets aren't selling, then the free float is really much lower than it seems. So, all the retail buying could definitely have impacted the price as much as we've seen. So, for sure. Which, long term, it might not be good for Shiba, but short term, I think that may have led to its ability to pump so much. So it is unfortunate, the SHIB frenzy. A lot of people made money on it. I made money on it. But some people are almost certainly going to lose out on this situation. Much like with Doge, if you look at Dogecoin, you see when people were buying it at 70 cents, they were buying it at 60 cents. And it's less now, but we'll see what happens over the long term. So Pfizer says, Hassan Garetti, COVID pill showing 89% efficacy, looking for approval. That would be nice if they got that. That would be really good for PFE. They're about to hit up on $50 resistance. They're getting very close, and they did blast through their old resistance of 46. So we'll see. What's the ticker, Hassan? PFE is the ticker for Pfizer. So Saucy Fredo, how PROG opening? Okay, let's look at PROG. We are about to, or we just opened. It looks like we did just open a couple seconds ago. PROG is doing very well on the open, right? We're up a little bit. We're up to 376, 377. It looks like a good open for PROG. People are excited about PROG. People are trying to squeeze out those shorts. We can quickly. Well, we'll look at AMC for a second. We'll just zoom in on it a little bit, but DWAC pretty much stagnant from the close yesterday. We're up 0.3% or 0.03%. So basically nothing. NVIDIA up 2%. That's good stuff. It did move up on the open, and PROG is making almost highs of day, right? Getting very close to highs of day. Another 7 cents would make it highs of day. So Noble H, well, good for you, Rob. I assume about Sober October. Yep. And you should be drinking Black Rifle coffee, says Joseph Agnello. And drinking that Black Rifle, you can lie if it's not. I won't lie, it is not Black Rifle. I've not bought coffee in a long time, and I don't drink coffee very often. But when I have in the past, this is a nothing coffee brand, right? This is just the cheapest instant coffee I could find. It was like $2, and I've used, you can see, barely any of it over the year plus that I've owned it. So I really don't drink coffee that often. But I will certainly be buying Black Rifle in the future, especially if I start drinking coffee a little bit more. I would like to. I know a lot of people have good things to say about coffee. I've just never really felt like I've needed the caffeine before. I still don't feel like I need it. It's just an enjoyable thing every now and then. Hopefully it's not too hot. Yeah, but no, in the future, definitely going to be buying some Black Rifle coffee, as well as the stock. I prefer to buy the stock to the coffee, right? You can get a share for you can get a share of Black Rifle stock for less than you can buy a bag of their coffee, actually. So get it while it's cheap. That's my opinion on it. So Zach Taylor, Rob, do you ever use Finviz for picks? I used to use Finviz a lot more. for screening stocks, but I haven't used them as much lately, right? I'll pull up Finviz real quick. It is really useful for screening stocks if there's something you're looking for, but now what I use them the most for is actually this map, which, it'll take a couple minutes to update since the market just opened, but it shows you how the markets are doing as a whole, sector by sector. So that's what I use Finviz for, but the screener is really useful, if you're looking for something in particular. Very useful, but I don't use it as often as I used to. Now I use more so stock twits, Reddit, and Wall Street bets, and I will sure up the search with Google Trends, right, to see what's going on with it. But Finviz is a good one if you're looking for momentum. It's definitely useful for that. You can get in on stuff a little bit earlier than when it's being talked about on stock twits and Wall Street bets, actually, with Finviz, but it's a lot tougher. A lot more of the plays, you find a lot of stuff with Finviz with the screener, but they don't always work out. So there's a lower efficacy rate, but you can get in on stuff early, I feel, with Finviz. So DWAC is moving down a little bit, down 1.85%. NVIDIA up 3.3%. We're doing decently with that, up above 300. A very healthy pattern right here, right? We bounced off of 300 or close to it, 301 it looks like one time. But 3 times we bounced off of 300 on NVIDIA. So that is very healthy. I think people are valuing this one very highly regarding, the prospects they have with the metaverse. I keep wanting to say multiverse, but that's Marvel. I can't do that. The multiverse. If you guys watch the Marvel movies, they're going to start getting into the multiverse. Do any of you guys watch, who's watched Loki, that TV show on Disney+? That was a good one. If anyone's watched Loki, they know all about the multiverse. And there was another one, Marvel's What If. That was pretty good, too. That was really good, actually. But that was an animated one, so people might not be interested in it. So FATBB was above $30. Now we have to halt. Oh, man. Yeah, the halts just kill stocks, but it looks like they got halted on the way down. So that might not actually be the worst thing, right? The fact that it dropped couple of bucks and got halted might not be the worst thing. Noble H says me. I assume you're talking about watching Loki. Yeah, Loki was good. I'm looking forward to the rest of the movies based off of what they were showing off there. So Loki was definitely a good one. One of my favorite TV shows probably in recent history. So PTLO says Rosa Pins. We'll look at PTLO. So down 1.73%. On Portillo's potentially Portillos Inc. Seems like the kind of thing. Okay, so Portillo's brings loved ones together with craveable and convenient meal solutions for every holiday celebration. Interesting. Let's pull this up on Market Watch and see what this stock is all about. What If was awesome. Yeah, it was. I liked it in the beginning, and then towards the end it just got really good. So that was a cool swap to the way they were doing the show towards the end. I liked that. I won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't watched it, but I definitely liked the end of it. So PTLO. Let's see what PTLO is all about. Okay, it looks like PTLO. Let's try to pull it up one more time. It didn't get the best search right there on Market Watch. Portillo's is a restaurant chain. Okay, and the new Batman movie. Yeah, I saw the trailer for that. Can't wait for it. That looks awesome. Can't wait for that new Batman movie. Okay, so yeah, Portillo's is a restaurant chain. Thank you. Portillo's. I guess I'll just have to look them up. Are they a Hispanic restaurant chain? Because that would help me. No, they're hot dogs, beef, burgers, and salads. So yeah, it's probably Portillo's, not Portillos. American fast casual restaurant chain based in the Chicago area, specializes in serving Chicago-style food such as hot dogs, street Polish, and Italian beef. Okay, that sounds delicious, actually. It's making me hungry. But it is tanking, it looks like. Down 5% on the day, but they were up pretty big yesterday. Potentially, was it earnings that bumped them up? No. What happened with Portillos? So, on the 4th, they were up pretty big. It looks like there's no news on TD Ameritrade. Let's see what their market cap is. that could be an interesting one. I mean, the restaurants unfortunately have very low margins, so I tend to not invest in restaurants. $1.3 billion market cap. They do have the potential to do well and grow over time, right? Like this one, if we're looking just a couple weeks ago, it looks like was at $25. So this one's been doing well. Yeah, Portillos. No, Portillos. Yeah, Portillos has been doing good. NVIDIA is doing incredibly well, though, up 4% on the day, just all green, basically, right? There's only 2 red bars on this whole thing. AMC, kind of stagnant. Not too much going on with AMC, up about 2%. Let's see what PROG is going. Let's see where PROG is going, though. Up 5% on the day. Good stuff, up to 377. It looks like we just a minute ago got very close to highs of the day. I eat there every now and then. The cake shake is bussin'. Yeah, it sounds good. Yeah, I wish. I mean, I don't know. It sounds like they're around Chicago, but I wish if they had them in North Carolina, I would certainly try them out. With a market cap like 1.6 billion, though, I doubt that they're on both coasts. Though they seem a little bit smaller. So we'll see. Maybe actually, let me do a quick search. So, it looks like, yeah, no, they're in Chicago. All right. Actually, maybe they are in somewhat near me. We'll see. I'll look into it later. But PROG, that's what's important. Doing really good. Up to 384. We just need a couple more cents to be getting highs of day. We were up to 387 in the pre-market. Looking really good on PROG. And NVIDIA just killing it with these green bars, just moving up and up and up. Up 4.78%. DWAC is having a little bit of a rebound, fortunately, right? We're moving back up. We're only down 0.3% on the day. We were down as low as 57.60 just a minute ago. Now we're at 58.60, so good stuff. Yep, Chicago and surrounding suburbs. Yep, that's what I was thinking. But yeah, it sounds like Chicago has some pretty good food. I can't remember if I've been there before. I may have just been through Chicago. Not sure about other states. Yep. But yeah, something about North Carolina, the food isn't great, right? There's not too many food places, at least not around me. So how's RFL? Raphael Holdings. Yeah, this is the one that dropped a ton. And I forget exactly why they dropped. So let's see, 1027. So the pharmaceutical, their cancer drug failed. Yep. So what I'm saying with RFL, though, we are off the lows of $5.90, we are really going to have to see from them some news of, a new drug or something that they're going to be working on that's going to be their next big thing, right? So, actually, we may have seen it. Raphael Pharmaceutical shares rise 10% on European orphan drug designation. So, let's see. Its shares were up 10% to 835 after the European Medicines Agency has granted orphan drug designation to something for the treatment of Burkitt's lymphoma. So, all right. So what is orphan drug designation? I'm curious about that. I tend to not be into too many biotech plays or pharma plays. So designating an orphan drug product, drugs and biological products. Let's pull this up real quick. Acorn Sucks says someone is using your photo and posting comments with bad grammar. Don't know if you've noticed. I saw a while ago someone doing that and I banned them. But yeah, unfortunately, I think a lot of YouTubers end up dealing with that once you get more than 1,000 or 2,000 subscribers. People make bots and they just try to scam people with WhatsApp. I haven't seen any of those comments. Unfortunately, I haven't seen them myself. Otherwise, I would have removed them. But yeah, it's I think a lot of YouTubers, they always say, contact me on WhatsApp at some number. I'll never tell you guys to contact me in the comments. I'll never tell you guys to do that. So don't fall for any of that. And it should. I believe that my comments look slightly different. It should say something next to my comment, like I'm verified, the producer of the video, or something like that. It should say something. I believe if it's a comment on one of my videos, it should say that I'm the real me. And there's, they get creative with the names. They make the names, say pinned by Rob Almazy or something like that. But you can typically see through it a little bit. But yeah, never listen to the comments. If I am ever telling you to contact me or anything in the comments, don't do it. Do not do it. It's a scam. It's someone else posing as me. So here's the orphan drug pull up that I got. So supporting the development and evaluation of new treatments for rare diseases is a key priority. Blah blah blah. All right. So the FDA has the authority to grant orphan drug designation to a drug. And orphan drug designation qualifies sponsors for incentives, including tax credits or qualified clinical trials, exemption for user fees, and potential 7 years of market exclusivity after approval. So it's just a well-rounded overall benefit, right? Looks like they exempt user fees, give you some tax credits, and a little patent for 7 years, it sounds like. So good stuff. So I can see why their shares are up. That could be good, right? This could be their next big drug. They could be moving up in the future off of this, right? Obviously, a lot of people are really banking on the cancer drug doing well for RFL. But if this new drug, I'm not sure if it's for as widespread of an issue. I think it was said Burkitt's lymphoma, which I've never heard of myself, but I'm sure it's a decently well-known disease, maybe. They replied to my comments on a previous video and requested I contacted Bitcoin Rep, says Acorn Stocks. Yeah, not me. I'll have to look through the comments on some of my videos and see which account this is. Let me pull it up and see if I can't find them right now. So let's see. See, it's tough to say. I see my comments. Oh, here's the person. 53 minutes ago, they posted a ton of comments. I was looking at those. All right, so let's report this person. Make sure to research about her and get in touch. Yeah, it looks like... there we go. So we've just reported this person. Let's see if remove that one comment. So, hide user from channel. What does that do? Well... We hid them from the channel. Hopefully that removed most of their comments. But yeah, I'm scrolling through. It looks like over the past hour, they've just responded to a ton of comments. And it would actually be very tough to say that this isn't me because it does look exactly like my account. So let's report this person again for spam. We'll just report them a couple of times. Okay, nice. We'll just report them a couple more times, and hopefully that will get YouTube to remove them. Just for spam. There we go. All right. Hopefully that'll get rid of that fake Rob Almazy. And you guys can just stick with the real Rob Almazy on the live stream. So NVIDIA actually, wow, we weren't looking at it, but just tanked quite a bit. Off of 312, moved all the way down to 303. Still, though, not below 300, so using that as support, that's good to see. DWAC has moved down a little bit, but also bounced once again off of a similar level, 57.80 this time it looks like. AMC up 2% on the day, but still just kind of stagnant regarding where they've opened, and not much has changed with them, but we'll see what PROG is up to. PROG is, wow, very close to $4. PROG's been doing incredibly. $3.99 right there with PROG is the high that we've gotten. Report them for phishing, says Boogeyman. Yeah. I don't know if that's an option on YouTube. It gives me a couple of options. One of them was spam, but let me pull it back up and see. Zach Taylor says, can we all laugh at Moderna mRNA for a minute? Let's see what Moderna's doing. Oh, wow. Yeah, they took a tumble. Yeah, I think this was the earnings news that came out yesterday. Yep. So bad earnings. Oh, yeah, I remember. They had bad earnings, and then they lowered their expectations for how many vaccines they were going to be distributing or something like that. So just continuing to dump. Moderna is, yeah, not doing great there. But let's pull up PROG again and see what PROG's got going on. We're getting very close to breaking $4. So that would be great if we could break $4 on PROG. So, report. Yeah. There we go. We'll report that Rob Elmazy one more time. It's always scary stuff reporting Rob Elmazy because it looks like I'm reporting myself, but I don't remember making those comments, so we're getting rid of the spammer. Yeah, unfortunately, the other options for reporting were not accurate, right? That there was commercial content and spam was one option combined into two, right? So that's what I ended up clicking on, but the others were like child pornography and that kind of stuff. So didn't quite fit the bill for what that commenter was doing. But SBEA, we'll take a look at that. SBEA, yep, $10.35. Getting very close, still bleeding money on DWAC, teetering on the edge of selling or holding. Independence Hall says, yeah, so we're getting close to the previous supports, right? The previous supports were getting very close to 55. We'll see what happens with it. Hopefully we don't get down that low. Hopefully we just start moving up today. That would be great to see, although we had a fairly bearish day yesterday, unfortunately. So looks like we're in a slight downtrend right now, but there's always hope. There's always hope that we could be moving up right now, right? Over the past couple of bars, it hasn't looked too bad. We bounced off of 57 pretty nicely, so we'll see what happens with DWAC. Hopefully we'll be moving up, but SBEA, yeah, I am very excited about SBEA. I really should buy some Black Rifle coffee. That's not what I'm drinking right now. We've already addressed that, but I'm sure it would taste a lot better than this. This instant coffee, not that great. I'm sure Black Rifle would be incredible. Right, PROG. Yeah, we'll pull PROG back up. That's the one. We're getting so close to breaking $4. And if we take a look, I'll pull up the short data on PROG and we'll see what it's got going for it. So let's see what PROG is looking like right now. Hopefully it's doing well. Vortex right there. mRNA laughing to the bank, bought at $29 per share. Nice buy on that, Ambition. And getting the DeLonghi espresso machine. Oh, I've not heard of that, but I have used espresso machines before, and they're awesome. PROG just hit $4. PROG just hit $4. So let's see. Yeah. Oh, this could be good. This could be good. It looks like shorts are starting to get a little worried on PROG. Short interest change is down 2% on PROG stock today. Shorts might be starting to cover at 100% utilization, says Vortex. So no available shares left to short. And now shorts are starting to cover a little bit. So good stuff on PROG. Yeah, shorts might be panicking right about now. They see it going back up above 4. They know that there are a ton of open interest call options. Let's see what those are at today for PROG stock. So yeah, at the 350, we've got 32,000 open interest call options. Those just got in the money. I believe it was yesterday. Or the day before, and then 30,600 at $4. So over 62,000 open interest call options at $3.50 and $4. Those are both now in the money. PROG is above $4. We are just riding this wave up 11% on the day. Good stuff with PROG. Volume is suspiciously low on DWAC. Yeah, volume is pretty low. Definitely low for where we've been in the past, right? We have actually had days with extremely low volume compared to at least what we saw in the past. It's possible that just, interest in it is waning a little bit. Interest has subsided, but yeah, it is very low volume, I will say, especially for the open. Very low volume. And it is a Friday. Maybe it's going a little bit slowly today. Who knows? But yeah, PROG. Let's go PROG. Ambition says it's going well. PROG is pumping. Up 12.36%. We're up 404. 406 it looks like now. Nice. Yeah, PROG's doing very well. But it is, J.A. Hulst, very suspicious that DWAC has such low volume. I will say that. NVIDIA looks like it might start to find some support at 300. It might have to, right? We're down to 302. We haven't been able to bounce back in a strong way since this initial big sell-off that we saw. Some people are getting cold feet with NVIDIA. I'm not worried about it, though. I'm still holding my NVIDIA. I'm still holding mine. Oh, PROG got pushed below 4. It looks like we'll potentially be using it as a support. Hopefully we will. But we've got it pulled up right here on the bottom left. So let's see what happens with it. We're fighting with 4 right now. We're at 403, so we did get pushed up. Morning, PHUN coiling for a run, says Paul Blackford. Yeah, with PHUN, I'll pull it up over DWAC. they actually are up on the day, up 3%. And they were up as high as $4.60 in the pre-market because they started buying up Bitcoin, right? They averaged in, they bought more Bitcoin at an average price of about $62,000 per coin. We can pull that up right now and see if that was a good buy. It may have changed since I last checked. But right now it looks like they could have gotten it for a little bit cheaper. Right now Bitcoin is trading at $61,750. So they could have gotten it a little bit cheaper if they waited. But overall, it looks like it is rallying some support in the stock. People are excited that Bitcoin is being bought by PHUN. And do you like any of the European brokers? I do not use any European brokers, Rocky Mountain Gobblers. And Noble, can you check PROG or text data, please? Yep, we just looked at it a minute ago, but when we did, we saw that the short interest change was down 2%. It's right here. And current short interest as a percentage of the free float, 36%, 23 million shorted shares, and utilization, very interesting, at 100%. So Ortex is estimating that there are no shares left to short. Shorts have maxed out their positions. We'll have to see what happens with it. And FAMI is up a decent amount. Let's pull this up right over AMC. So Joseph, look at that. Joseph Agnello, Rob just bought 90,000 shares of FAMI. Yeah, FAMI's running up today. I'm still holding my FAMI shares. But yeah, you might have helped push this price up buying that 90,000. It's going well for FAMI, right? Hopefully we're going to be able to get back up above that 37-cent resistance, which it's pushed us down in the past. You can see we've tried getting above it and it failed. But there's always going to be a time that you succeed, right? If you wait long enough, unless the stock ends up, tanking, we're eventually going to get past it, right? But I am confident in FAMI over the future. 90K shares of FAMI, Rob. That was Joseph Agnello who just bought 90,000 shares of FAMI. I believe it says 90. Yeah, 90,000. So let's see what the math on that is. How much would that be invested? 90,000 times 30. We'll do 36 cents. 32 grand in FAMI. You must like FAMI stock a lot. And Independence Hall, the coup of PHUN is really impressive. You should watch him on Benzinga YouTube channel. Former Army Ranger. The COO of PHUN. Okay, yeah, the Chief Operating Officer. Yep, of PHUN. Nice. You should watch him on Benzinga. Joseph Agnello just bought in. Yeah, we'll see what happens with it. Hopefully we can get past this 37. It looks like we're getting bounced off a little close to it at 36.88. But hopefully we can get above the 37 and start using that as support, right? We want to do that and then get above the 40. And after that, we're looking at 50, which we'll see. We'll see if we can get to that. We're up 5% on the day. Hopefully we can. PROG stock got shot down below 4. It looks like we're down to 389. And NVIDIA is getting ever closer to $3 or $300. Looks like all the stocks are tanking a little bit right now. FAMI's tanking. PROG is tanking. PHUN is tanking. All the stocks are on a little dip right now, at least the ones that we're watching. Wonder what the SPY is doing. Let me pull that up real quick. Yeah, so the SPY is on a little pullback right now. But we'll pull FAMI back up because I am interested in that one. But let's take a look at the markets. I'm curious what the markets in general are doing. So, for the most part, markets are very green. Very green markets. Tesla's down a little bit. Some of the healthcare sectors and diagnostic and research sectors are down. But other than that, pretty much everything is green. I mean, Netflix is down a little bit, but Disney Plus and Comcast are up. So all the market is pretty much green, except for a couple of little red spots in it. But Microsoft and Apple are almost not green, right? They're just barely up. But it's looking like a great day for the markets. Looking at this map, I mean, technology, communications, consumer cyclical, entertainment's decently, financial services, banks, they're all up. So overall, the markets are doing pretty well. They're doing pretty well. So let's see. PROG and AQST going to the moon, says guess who? Hopefully DWAC too. I hope so. SPY hit 470 earlier. Let's pull up SPY. 1 second. Yeah, we did hit 470. Jeez. Yeah, the SPY, it's just been soaring. It's been soaring over the past, you look back at the past 2 years, other than the COVID dip, it's just been a straight line up. I mean, we saw a little bit of volatility. couple months afterwards, and we just had a little bit of a dip on the Evergrande worries. But after every dip, it just seems like we make a straight line up towards higher highs. So all-time highs are getting reached almost constantly with the SPY. It's crazy. And Noble H, a lot of people probably sold PROG at $4. Yep, they probably did. A lot of people saw that and saw their opportunity to make some money. You know, everyone's pretty much in the green above $4. If you look back at the past 30 days, there's very little buying that people have done above 4. So pretty much everyone has the opportunity to be green above 4. Ambition 2020, I still have eye twitches from DWAC. Trump needs to have one of his associates plug it or something. Absolutely. We need DWAC to start moving up again. It's down 1% on the day. We'd rather it be up 10%. I'd rather that. So come on, Trump, let's go. And Zach Taylor says this market is defying reality. Dow at 36,440. How much longer can this last? Man, I don't know. It's certainly been defying reality for a long time, it seems, but maybe the reality is that we've printed a ton of money, and these are just the valuations that we're at now. Maybe, money is worth a bit less in the markets just because wealthier individuals have a lot more to buy the stocks with, and there's a lot more money in the markets. This might be the new reality. You can look. We can go back at the all-time, at least as far as TD Ameritrade goes, for SPY in this top left chart right here. Going all the way back, it's the farthest back we can go is 1993 when it was at $42. So we were at $42 in 1993, and obviously, we had a bit more of a reasonable stock market back then, right? We would move up for a couple of years, then we would move down for a couple of years in a recession, and we just haven't really had one since 2008. We haven't really had a recession. It's just been straight up, and I think a lot of it has to do with just how much money we've been printing. So, every time there's a worry, COVID was going to be the big worry, right? People thought this was going to crash the markets, and it absolutely could have, except the government stepped in, printed a bunch of money, and handed it out. And then we moved up to all-time highs because of it. So we'll see if they do that in the future with every recession. I mean, maybe they found a foolproof method of stopping the markets from crashing. It won't, be good for the dollar if they keep doing that every time we have financial worries. If they just print a ton of money and buy assets, it certainly protects the wealthier individuals, but everyone who's holding on to cash, who has cash in a savings account or is saving up to buy something, buy an asset like a house, that's not going to be good. Ambition 2020 says there is no more reality, thus the metaverse. While we are in a time of not trusting what your eyes can see. Yeah, yeah, the metaverse, that'll be really interesting because, first of all, it's just going to be a very cool technology to use, and it won't always be used for gaming. People will definitely be using it. I mean, at least what we've seen NVIDIA putting forward, people are going to be using it to engineer stuff and do work, but it will be very interesting because pretty much everything in there is just going to be code, and it is going to be easily distributable to people for a very cheap price, right? After you get the headset or whatever it is that you're going to need to use the metaverse to access it, it's going to be like a land of infinite resources pretty much, regarding at least what you can see. And depending on how good the technology gets, maybe what you can feel as well, right? If they figure out how to hook it up to your brain in a cool way, that would be interesting. So Yellen got a new printing press. Yeah. I mean, we're making new highs on the S&P today, so cool stuff. Wouldn't surprise me. Although the Fed did say that they were going to start to taper a little bit, right? They were going to start to reduce their buying. We'll see if they actually do it. Independence Hall, the dollar is pretty strong on the trade-weighted index. A lot of people flocked to the dollar after COVID. Yeah, let's look at the dollar right here in the top left chart. So the dollar, over the past 2 years, obviously, COVID hit and it sank, but it has been moving up lately. The dollar's been moving up. And it was sinking on, maybe against other currencies it was doing well. But, so what do we need to flip the switch to make PROG shorters panic and jump in? Well, we're going to need PROG to basically, if you want to make the shorts panic, you're going to have to make them lose money. So with PROG, we're going to need to be bumping up big time, right? Above $5, I think a lot of shorts would start to get worried if they just saw us moving up in a straight line, especially since you can't really short that much more with PROG. Looking at the utilization of 100, I mean, obviously it's an estimated number. They aren't exactly 100% maxed out most likely, but there aren't that many more short shares that can be thrown at this thing. So we're going to have to see. But above $4, it's looking very promising for a gamma squeeze at least, and that could get us moving too. But the dollar. The dollar, though, has, unfortunately, in my opinion, it's unfortunate because I'm a holder of gold, has been moving up lately, which, I would prefer to see it move down because it makes more sense, in my opinion, that the value of the dollar should move down. After all of this money printing, I would like to see the dollar moving a little bit lower. I think that, there has to be some kind of consequence for the governments just printing all of this money year after year, right? They've been doing it not just in 2020. They just happened to accelerate it a lot in 2020, but they've been doing it for a very long time. And, you can see that back in 2000, we had a much stronger dollar than we do today. But it's still relatively high compared to where we were in years past. So I don't know about this. I think that the dollar should probably be on its way down, and that gold and silver should potentially be on their way up. Obviously, it's up to people to buy it, and they don't have to buy it if they don't want to. We have been moving up with gold in price, and it looks like, at any moment we could have a breakout. We could, looking at this long-term chart over the past, 20-ish years, we could be looking at a breakout somewhat soon in gold. We're very close to all-time highs, and we have just been teetering around the previous all-time highs that we got in 2011. So hopefully we'll move up with gold, but with PROG, we are back up above 4, so good stuff on that. And NVIDIA, it looks like bounced off of 301 strongly. We're up to 307. Good stuff with NVIDIA. Happy to see it. Happy to see that. Now, DWAC, down 0.78%. Not the worst, so not too worried about DWAC. We're still up over 5K on the position, up on the 150 shares that we bought at 24 bucks. So we're still up on DWAC. I'm not too worried about it moving down, but we'll see what happens with it. Even if it did move down, I'd probably end up getting out of my position at some point. Probably around 40 bucks is where I'd look to cover DWAC at, where I'd look to get out of it. But I'm not worried about it dropping down that much. I think that eventually Trump will say something and will most likely move up. We'll have to see. Obviously, it's not a guarantee, but that's my hope at least. AMC. AMC is relatively stagnant, though. We moved up in the pre-market. We haven't done too much during the actual trading day. It's a big market cap. It's going to be tough to move AMC. If we look at AMC's market cap, it's about 18 billion, I believe. 20 billion. Almost 20.1 billion. 20.98 billion dollar market cap on AMC. So very large. Above 40 bucks, it's tough to move. What I've always thought about these meme stocks, right, with AMC and GME, is they are getting very, very tough to move, and you're going to need a lot of momentum in them. You're going to need a lot of volume, a lot of people flocking into them, a lot of retail probably buying at prices that don't necessarily make the most sense to be buying a company at, fundamentally at least. But if you could get that kind of momentum, you could see a decent rise in price, but it's not going to be like what we saw in the past, I don't think, where we went from 191 to 19, right? I don't think we're going to go from 40 to 400. I don't think we're going to 10x off of retail. We'd have to see something crazy. And 10xing would take AMC to a $200 billion market cap. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Interesting. I'm not sure if anyone follows Matt Kors. I looked at him a couple of times. I've watched some of his videos. He does a nice podcast where he talks about AMC and the markets. I think it's called Dumb Money with Matt Kors. But when you look at AMC, actually, when you pull up AMC on their Yahoo Finance page, the top video that they have, the related video right here, the editor's pick for 22 hours ago is YouTube star Matt Kors. YouTube star trader Matt Kors, Wall Street permanently changed by meme stocks and retail trading. So it's interesting to see that the real sites like Yahoo Finance are starting to take YouTubers a little bit more seriously. I know that a lot of major news sites have been moving over to YouTube a little bit. They've started to open up their own YouTube channels, and they've been taking that a bit more seriously just because YouTube has taken over a large swath of viewership from the typical markets like TV markets and cable and all that. Not many people are using that kind of stuff anymore because it is very expensive and you don't get to choose what you want to watch when you want to watch it. YouTube has a pretty good algorithm for showing people what they're interested in. So I think a lot of people are moving over to YouTube, and it is interesting to see that the top link is actually It looks like even Yahoo Finance is interviewing Matt Kohrs. If you look right here, they've got someone interviewing him. So that's cool stuff. That's cool stuff. I am a fan of Matt Kohrs. I don't watch all of his videos, but I do like his stuff. Every now and then, I was watching a little bit of him this morning. He was talking about the money printing. Yeah. But that actually inspired me to watch AMC and GME today, because every now and then I like to watch Matt Kohrs, and he talks about AMC and GME a lot. So that's actually why we've got AMC and GME on watch. Not that I think they'll do all that much. They are up above 40. PROG is up 10%. We're still struggling at $4. Come on, PROG, you can do it. We were just making highs a day at 409, so really happy to see that we got back up above 4. This is very encouraging to see, and it's actually perfect, right? The fact that we are following this pattern, which we can look back at over here, of making new highs and then subsiding for a couple of days, going back, making new highs, subsiding for a couple of days, going back, making new highs, subsiding for a couple of days, and now we're on our way back up. Really great stuff with PROG. Very happy about that. So there we go. PROG is doing great. The Dow is rallying. AMC is killing me, says AMC, or says Stock Raider. And AQST going to $20 soon. Huge FDA coming and also becoming profitable. AQST, a ton of people in the comments section are asking me to look at AQST. So AQST currently down about 2% on the day. They had a massive couple of red bars on the market open, bringing them down to 564, but they're up to 589 again. So not the worst AQST chart. They have been moving up, and if they're on the road to profitability, then that's good. Looks like the earnings calls have been improving slightly, time after time. It looks like they've been beating the earnings expectations typically. Yep. So good stuff for AQST. We'll have to see what happens with them though. And the Dow. Let's take a look at the Dow. DJIA. Let's see. DJX. Yeah, the Dow looks like making new records up there, pumping up. Dow's doing pretty good. Stocker bought more today on the dip for AQST. Yep. And Independence Hall. I'm not used to DWAC being so quiet. Someone needs to poke the bear. Yeah. Hopefully they poke it upwards, though. I don't want it to get poked down. Hopefully they poke DWAC to the upside. That would be the hope. And it looks like the markets in general are getting a little bit less risky. If you look at the VIX is moving down, getting close to all-time lows since COVID hit over the past year at least. So potentially seeing all-time lows with the VIX sometime soon, right? We're down 3.11%. And the VIX is the market volatility index, for those of you who don't know. So the lower it is, the less volatile traders see the market as. SENS doubled the 2 weeks before their date, says Ariana Layden. SENS. Let's take a look. Sensionics Holding. All right. Yeah, over the past year, they've done very well. More than doubled the 2 weeks before their date, says Ariana. So more than doubled. More than doubled the 2 weeks before their date. I'm not sure what that means. Doubled the 2 weeks before their date. Yeah, I don't know. It went from 2 to 4. I guess, what is their date, though? I'm not sure what the SENS date, or SENS. I'm not sure what their date is. I see when they doubled, though. They went from 2 to 4. I'm just not sure what their date was. So, but you can see they're doing decently as of now, right? They're actually down 0.7% on the day, but over the past year, they were up from 35 cents to 387, so they've about 10x'd. Okay. And Joseph Agnello says, robotics waiting for bounce back. Yeah, robotics, like iRobot, IRBT. Potentially, yeah. Robotics, it looks like IRBT is bouncing back after this earnings call. They actually did incredibly on this earnings call. They were expected to get 54 cents per share, and they got $1.67. So about a 300% beat on earnings. Really cool. They have been beating their earnings the past couple of times, actually, it looks like. So yeah. IRBT doing pretty good. I used to hold the stock way back when. I wish I was still holding it. Yeah, back in 2017, I thought I got into this stock, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, robotics, that's the way of the future. I might not be opposed, actually. Looking at the past year with IRBT, I might not be opposed to getting into them right below 100. I might want to add some position to my long-term portfolio. I should do that. I will likely do that with IRBT because that is one of my old favorites, right? Used to be in that in 2017. I sold it when I sold a lot of my stocks before there was some kind of crash that happened, I think, that I sold before. Maybe it was a bit premature. I know I sold before COVID hit about a year and a half ago. But that was just pure luck, actually. The fact that I wasn't holding many stocks when COVID hit. I just saw the market getting pretty frothy, and if COVID hadn't hit, I'm sure it would have just kept skyrocketing like it has been over the past year, but it certainly offered me some good buying opportunities. So that was very fortunate. That was very fortunate. And we've got, I will point out, we've got 50 viewers, 48 likes. Maybe we could bump it up 2 more likes, get 50 likes on the stream. We'll see if we can. Maybe we can do it. If only two people like the stream, then we would be able to achieve 50 likes. So that would be appreciated. Now let's pull up Shiba and see what we're doing with Shiba Inu. Okay, so Shiba has reversed course a little bit. Instead of being down 6% over the past 24 hours, we're up 0.35%. Let's pull up Shiba Inu right here. Let's see what happened. Yeah, so we've been moving up the past hour or so. Good stuff. Still not the best chart though. If you look at the 1 month or the 3 month, we are off the highs significantly. So we'll have to see what happens with Shiba Inu. Hopefully we'll be able to get back up to the previous highs, but it's not looking promising. I'm just going to hold my Shiba, probably forever. You know, I may as well just hold a little bit of it. It's not much. It's a couple $100 that I've got in Shiba Inu. I've got a couple thousand in Doge. You never know what's going to happen with that kind of stuff. I've got a couple thousand in Bitcoin, some in Ethereum. You never know what's going to happen with that kind of stuff. So I just hold a little bit of it, and even though I don't think there's too much of a fundamental case for why it should go up over the long term, you never know what's going to happen in the market. So I think better to be a little diversified into it just in case they explode, and you don't want to FOMO win and then end up losing money. So you may as well just hold a little bit. That's what I think about the whole cryptocurrency situation. I may as well just buy in now because I don't want to be scared into buying in later. If I see Bitcoin going to $1 million a coin, the last thing I want then is to start thinking, oh, I should buy when it's $1 million a coin, you know. So I'm basically just protecting myself from my own psychology by holding a little bit. And NVIDIA is moving back up. We're hopefully going to be getting back up to highs of day. We've had a lot of good action on NVIDIA. We bounced off of 301. We're moving back up, hopefully getting past 310 on this bounce. DWAC, unfortunately, you know, pretty stagnant. And if anything, you know, other than being stagnant, we are actually moving down a little bit, right? We're hitting 5780 again, which is where we've bounced off a couple of times. Hopefully we'll bounce off of it again. I don't want to see us moving down too far below 5780, but we'll see what happens with DWAC. Obviously, with this one, we're just waiting for some kind of catalyst, right? We don't expect to just pump up for no reason. We're waiting for some kind of catalyst. Obviously, you know, traders are going to be moving it back and forth. We're going to be bouncing around a couple of key levels. Hopefully 55 will act as a strong support. Lucid is moving up, says Ambition. We'll take a look at Lucid. Yeah, Lucid is up 3%. Let me pull up Tesla next to it and see what Tesla's doing up. Oh, okay, both of them are up. Tesla's not up as much. It looks like they both had similar V shapes this morning, right? EVs were moving down, and then around 950, it looks like 940 for Lucid, they bottomed out and started making highs of day. So Tesla's up 0.39%, and Lucid is up over 3%. So that is good stuff. Yeah, Lucid's doing well. Tesla's doing decently, right? It was down today, and now it's up. So good stuff for Tesla. Getting very close again to all-time highs for Tesla stock. Lucid is a bit further off from all-time highs, but not by that much, right? We only need a couple bucks on Lucid to get above $41.60, and then we'd be making all-time highs again. And it's possible, right? We have subsided and consolidated. We found some support at 34. We're starting to uptrend again. This is good stuff. Tesla's just continuing on its road up. If you look over the past 30 days, there hasn't been too much consolidation. There were a couple days here, one day mainly, right, where we bounced down and then consolidated a little bit before moving up again. So we'll see what happens with Tesla. Yesterday wasn't the most dramatic day. We weren't up that much, but we were up on the day because of what happened in the pre-market. But we'll see what happens with Tesla. Hopefully we'll continue trending up. I'm still holding my Tesla, man. I'm still holding the Tesla. I'm still holding the Lucid. We'll see what happens with it. Hopefully they'll both just continue moving up. I mean, honestly, though, with the Tesla market cap being larger than energy stocks in general, I'll pull it up again for those of you who haven't seen. I'll pull it up the Instagram post. I'll pull it up and we'll see what happens. What happened to Tesla, but their market cap has been getting very large, and you guys can see it right here on the main screen. I'm going to pull this up for you. Tesla, more valuable than all of U.S. energy. If you look, you can see Tesla's market cap right there. Hopefully that focuses. Has exceeded the entire market cap of all the companies in the S&P 500. So that's and Fisker, says Joseph Agnelli. Yeah, I own some Fisker. I've got let's see how much I've got in the Robin. I think I just have 100 shares of Fisker. I think it's just 100 shares. Let's see. I may have actually sold a call option on them lately. FSR, where is it? Yep, I've got 100 shares of Fisker. Did I sell the call option on them? I think I did. And I've made 20% on that call option. I sold a 1950 call with a December 3rd expiration. So, my average cost on Fisker was $16. I bought it a bit ago before it sank a little. So I bought it way back a couple months ago. It sank. I've been selling call options on Fisker for a while, though. I've made quite a bit of money on Fisker call options, I believe. Yep. I've made decent money on Fisker call options. So, and with this one, it's a no lose situation. I can't lose on this Fisker call option because it's the price that I'd be willing to sell it at, $19.50, is above the price that I paid for it. So I'm making money on the stock if it executes, and I'm making money on the premium if it doesn't. So I'm not worried about Fisker. It's an easy investment, right? $1,700 gets you over the course of the next month, just about, right? It's expiring in about a month, $100. So for every $1,700 you put into Fisker, you can get $100 a month, typically, right? Obviously, it's not always going to be like that. Their implied volatility is relatively high right now, but we'll pull up Fisker. This one I actually heard about from Graham Stephan. Graham Stephan pointed it out, and I was lucky to buy it, although I would love to have been buying it at these slightly cheaper prices, right around $13 or $14. That would have been an amazing buy considering where it is now. And what's going on with PROG? Ooh, what has happened with PROG? We'll pull it up in the top left chart because we're going to want to watch that one all day. We got shot down, double top, $4. So, geez. Yeah, we're getting shot down. Not that bad, though, right? We're still up pretty high, 382, up 6% on the day. But this is people taking profits, right? You can see over the past 30 days, we'll look at the past 90 days even. You can see that we've basically only ever been above $4 for very short periods of time. Basically, nobody's cost average is above $4 for the most part. Some people maybe were buying above $4 if they just heard about the stock. But with PROG, people are looking to take profits above $4 because they're all in the money, and they look at $4 as a pretty fierce resistance. Now, it's not to say that we won't break past $4 today, right? We could still start moving back towards $4. Just because we're seeing some resistance now doesn't mean we can't start moving up again. I am hopeful for PROG. I like PROG. Elena Stead says, okay, yeah. And Joseph Agnelli says, Lucid needs to break 40. It does. It does need to break 40. I'm hopeful that we can do it. But with PROG, I'll pull up some of the data again. Just for those of you who haven't seen it, the short change is down 2%. So shorts are covering today. Shorts are getting worried. That's 679,000 shares that they've returned today. So not the highest number of shares considering what the current short interest is of 23 million, but still, Shorts are getting worried that PROG stock is going to break out. They're getting a little scared. All right, guys, I'll be right back. Quick bathroom break. I'll be right back. All right, and we are back. Here we go. Okay, so not much has changed since I left, although PROG looks like it may be making a little reversal. We'll have to see. We got 3 green bars in a row. We're up to 387, it looks like, so that's decent. And DWAC is still, unfortunately, trending down, making lows of the trading day. Or not quite. Not quite. Bouncing off the lows of the trading day, it looks like, at 57.57. What a nice price to be bouncing off of. We're hopefully going to be moving up. So with Lucid, though, just was saying we need to break 40 LCID. Yeah, 40 is the resistance that we've seen for Lucid. If you look back over the past 10 days, you can see a couple of bounces off of 40. So definitely, I think 40 is going to be a key level. Adil Khan, any thoughts on IRNT? My buying cost is $13.05. I wonder if I can buy some more shares at lower prices. Now, I know you're not my financial advisor. Yep. So we'll look at IRNT. So it looks like it's been dipping over the course of the day. Let's look at the past 30 days. So not the lowest price. So maybe you bought on this pump up here recently. So IRNT, it was the Microsoft partnership that pumped us up. And we do have fairly significant short positions on it. So not we, but there are some fairly significant short positions that institutions have on it, which we'll pull up here. 31% of the free float is shorted. So, over the long term, it depends on how long you're willing to hold this thing. But obviously, like you said, not financial advice, but it depends on how long you're willing to hold it. But the fact that they got a Microsoft partnership sounds good for their long term. If you look back at the past year, they were a SPAC, and they were at one point trading above $40 per share. And they are very heavily shorted, so that's always promising, right? That always instigates potential pumping situations where maybe if Reddit gets a hold of them again like they did in the past, we were covering them in the past, then we could see potential short squeeze on them. So maybe it is a good long-term hold. I wouldn't be opposed to buying some of this, actually. I'd have to look. Let's see what the options are going for, but potentially, depending on how many shares, what you could do. Let me just check to make sure this is a possibility. I'm not sure what brokerage you're holding them on, but let's see IRNT on Robinhood. If they have options, they do have options. So something that you might consider. Yeah, here we go. So something that you might consider if your cost, you said, is $13.05. They're currently trading at $11. What you could do is if you look at the December 3rd calls, the $14 calls are selling for 98 cents each. You could actually sell some of those, collect about $1 premium, and then if it goes above $14, you've made $1 selling on the stock and you've made $1 on the premium. And that's just for the next month, but it also protects you $1 to the downside with IRNT. So if it did happen to go down to $10.47, you'd be you'd be break even over the next month. So it does protect you a decent amount to the downside. I don't think we're too likely to drop below 10 with IRNT, right? That's where we found support in the past. And now that they've got the Microsoft deal, they're in my opinion at least a better company that I think has a higher value. So I think we should be doing good with them. So if you wanted to sell some options, maybe you wanted to buy some more here, if you wanted to get your cost down a little bit and sell some options, that's something I'm actually considering. I'll have to look at that a little bit more, but I won't do it on stream, but I might be doing that. So hold on one second right here. My friend's asking me something, so let me just send this back to him. There we go. All right. So let's see. BCTX momentum bump. Bump. Yep, bump. Or actually, I missed a couple comments. So Dealcon says, thanks. You're welcome, man. And Risky Seeds, why are the PROG 450s for the 19th so cheap? Bid size much higher than ask. When is it going? When it is going up, it is normally the opposite. So let's take a look at the PROG options real quick. We'll get to the rest of the comments in just a second. So PROG 450s, 55 cents to 60 cents each. So yeah, not honestly, they're not the cheapest options. You're paying 50 cents for November 19th, which is in about 2 weeks from now, right? And actually exactly 2 weeks from now, November 19th. So you're betting that PROG, if you're buying it, will get to 450, and you're paying 50 or 60, 55 cents at least for the right to buy it at that price. So you're not making any money. You're breaking even if PROG hits $5 in the next 2 weeks, and we're at $3.78 right now. So not the cheapest options. These are fairly expensive options because to break even, PROG would need to hit $5. Now, it could do that. It could definitely do that over the next couple of days even if we get the right pressures on shorts. But that I wouldn't call these options cheap. So BCTX, momentum bump. We'll see BCTX. I'm used to BTC for Bitcoin, but BCTX. Briacell Therapeutics up 4.57%. Yeah, we're doing good. We've just been trailing upwards over the past 5 days from 767. So yeah, they've been doing good. Zach Taylor, Pfizer board member, declares COVID pandemic over as we know it on day. Pfizer reveals magic anti-COVID pill. Sorry, Moderna, no more yachts for you for zero hedge. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm happy with that. Whatever gets this thing over with. So thank you, Pfizer. And you can see, I think Pfizer is doing good today. I think, up 7%. At least, the pre-market was doing incredibly well. Now we've been trending down a little bit during the course of the day, but Moderna, mRNA, not looking too hot, right? Down 18% on the day. They were down massively the other day. So, yeah, Moderna's dumping on bad earnings. But Pfizer seems to be taking off. That's good. So Acorn sucks. Either DWAC is tanking or it's a good buying opportunity. Yeah, right? Right? Either one or the other. One or the other. So Prabesh Ramdan, how are you, brother? I'm doing good, man. How are you? And is MRK a buy at $82? Merck, MRK. Let's take a look. 82. Okay, so they just took a tumble, it looks like. A substantial tumble. Okay, and I see. So they're likely falling for the same reason Moderna is, right? Pfizer came out with their pill. Merck had a pill, and now everybody's hyping up Pfizer's pill, so Merck stock is falling also. Pfizer stock is falling because its COVID antiviral appears to work really, really well, says Barron's. All right, yeah. So all these other stocks are falling. So Merck might actually be a little bit of a buy, because if you look back at, let's look at the past 2 years. So Merck really could actually be justifiable at these prices, right? Because these bring it more in line with what it was trading at over the past couple of years. And this isn't, financial advice. You guys all know that. But it's definitely more justifiable than where it was at above 90 a while ago. So if you're interested in Merck, then you might want to, average in around here, but down 8%. Not a guarantee that we're not going to tumble down a little bit more, but you can see that they've been relatively stagnant over the past even 3 years. They haven't moved all that much moved up a bit, but not all that much. So I wouldn't be looking to get into Merck just because it doesn't look like they're moving. But it could, if you want to hold more Merck, then you can. And Ambition 2020 says ping pong and Lucid. OMG, great day on third trade and fourth trade. Yes, nice job, Ambition. Nice. Yeah, Lucid. We'll take a look where Lucid's. Yeah, Lucid's up. It's getting close to 40. It's just been this perfect V shape that we've seen right here. Amazing stuff. Beating out Tesla, right? Tesla's up 0.32% and Lucid's up over 5.5%. So great stuff with Lucid. Really impressive. Happy to see it. PROG, though. PROG did bounce off of 4, unfortunately, right? We did bounce off of 4. We'd have liked to see, it stay above that, but that doesn't mean we're not going to get back up there by the end of the day. DWAC, though, it looks like we just had a big red bar on big volume, hitting $57. Hopefully we can hold there. We'll have to see what happens with it, but it's not looking great for DWAC right now. Hopefully we're going to be able to hold it, but it's not looking great, right? We're still holding somewhat strong at 57, but this big volume is coming in, and maybe we'll see a little bit of bounce, right? 57 is it's going to be close. Maybe 56.50 will have to hold us. We'll see. We are getting a little green right now on DWAC. And PROG is starting to move up as well. Lucid is doing good. Lucid's doing very well. Maybe we can break 40 today. It has to happen eventually. I think Lucid's going up over the long term, so it has to happen at some point. We'll see, though. Okay. Let's see what other stocks would be interesting. FAMI, we'll take a peek at FAMI again. We'll cover up. Ooh, what do we want to lose? We'll cover up Lucid for a second, right? FAMI is starting to form a little V right here. Maybe we can start moving up again. Maybe we can. Hopefully we'll get up above 37 over the course of the day. We're still up 5%. So if Joseph's still here, goodbye on this, Joseph. Hopefully we'll get back above 37. We've been doing decently, though. We've been doing decently, right? Not going to complain. Even if we stayed stagnant the rest of the day, I'm not going to complain about 5% gain on the day. If we saw that every day for the next while, I'd be quite happy. So, Prambesh Ramdan, METX is going up today. Any news why? METX, we'll pull it up. METX up 8% on the day. It doesn't look like there's any news on TD Ameritrade, but let's see. This must have just happened if it did. METX. Let's see what happened with it. So, what time was this that it started pumping? 10:15. So all that I can find is this article right here. Let's get rid of that. That is Metin EdTech X Education Group of buy under $1. This article came out about an hour ago. Sometimes these articles can actually have an effect on the price if you look at lower market cap stocks. So METX, let's see what the market cap on that is. $71 million market cap. So yeah, I could see it pumping the stock up a little bit. On stocknews.com, we might have just gotten a little pump from some article being released. But other than that, it might just be a trader's move, right? 54 cents per share. A lot of people might be looking into it based off this article and saying, hey, that's a cheap stock right there. And looking to buy, though it has been tanking over the past 2 years. Looks like a lot of dilution has been experienced by them. So not surprising, though, to see that we've moved up a little bit, right? 9% is not the biggest gain that we've seen recently, right? We've moved to 69 cents to 90 cents in a day in the past before it looks like some dilution probably. So VXRT, please. Earnings was yesterday, and I believe they missed, and revenue was down as well. They have an oral COVID pill still in trials. VXRT. Okay, so down 4%. It looks like this might also be, if they have a COVID pill. Earnings was yesterday, so they actually did slightly better on earnings than was expected. But if they have a COVID pill, they're likely being brought down on the Pfizer news, right? Because Pfizer's COVID pill apparently is very effective. And that's pushing down mRNA, Merck, and likely VXRT as well, right? Because if people were hyping this up because of a COVID pill that they've got in trials, well, the fact that that Pfizer has a very effective pill means that this is getting pushed down a little bit. So DWACW looking good to buy right now, says Zach. Let's take, or hold on. Would pill approval be enough for a catalyst to moon this? So we missed a couple comments. So Robert says DWAC. Yeah, DWAC fortunately bounced off of 57. Hopefully it will continue to rise. And would pill approval be enough of a catalyst to moon this? I saw a price target of $15. Let's see what it's done over the past year. Potentially, right? With a company like this, let's see what the market cap is on it. We have seen pumps up in the past. So VXRT. So the market cap is $824 million on it. It's getting tough. Maybe it could get it up, maybe to 15, but that would be very steep. $10 seems like a more attainable level if we got a COVID pill approval. It would have to be pretty good, right, to beat Merck's pill, or not Merck's pill, Pfizer's pill. So we'll see. We'll see. Obviously it's attainable, right? They did pump up massively one time, up to $24.90. So potentially a COVID pill could be good. It'll almost certainly move the price up if they get approval for it. But it looks like there are a lot of COVID pills coming out around now, so might not boost it up all that much. If they had been one of the first, it certainly could have. But Pfizer's COVID pill looks to be pretty effective, and people would probably prefer that one since Pfizer's a more well-known name, more well-known brand. They might trust it a little bit more. But this is certainly, not bad news if they got a pill approval. So DWACW looking good to buy right now, says Zach. Let's look at DWACW. Okay, down 2.42% on the day. Very similar to DWAC. Yep, getting close to 23. Maybe we'll see a bounce off of 23. So it looks like with the warrants that we've got right now, they've got, if you add in the 11.50 strike, or the exercise price, the $11.50 exercise price to this 23.20, so it would be $34.70 is the intrinsic value of the warrants right now, as opposed to what DWAC is trading for of $57.45. So you're missing a little bit of the intrinsic value right there. You'd definitely be getting DWAC much cheaper by buying the warrants than by buying the stock at this time at least. So Ambition 2020. Okay, so let's see. Adil Khan, you need to find Indian or Pakistani restaurant. You will love food. We have big community in High Point. Yeah, that sounds good. Indian or Pakistani restaurants. Yep, that sounds delicious. Mohammed Sadiq, hi Rob. People are buying up KDNY. I'm unsure, just watching it climb. I'm slow to move on it. And what's up, Mohammed? Please check Ortex on SBET. Looks to be going up. Okay. We'll take a look at SBET. We'll take a look at that. SBET. Let's see what it's got going on. SharpLink Gaming Limited Company. All right. SBET. $62 million market cap, relatively low. It has pumped lately. It pumped yesterday up from 362 up to 438, and we're down about 4% on the day, but let's see what news came out for it. They did a webcast, hosted a corporate webcast, likely said something inspiring in the webcast. Or oh no, they'll host a webcast on Wednesday, November 17th. Okay, so expectations are that they'll provide a corporate update on the company's business, its key growth strategies, and other important operational highlights. So people are buying this on expectations that the webcast is going to be good. And check Ortex on SBET. We'll look at the Ortex for it. So the Ortex on SBET, it looks like not very shorted. 3% of the short interest is floated, or 3% of the free float is shorted. Only 141,000 shares. No short change today. And the utilization's only at 20%. So shorts could still short it a lot. Not very much short action going on for SBET, for SharpLink Gaming. All right, so Rob Amazy, I don't invest in METX. It's a Chinese stock. Oh, I was unaware of that. METX, Metin Holdings, I believe. Metin Holding Group, yep. Okay, well, I don't invest in them either. I just haven't I haven't bought them. So, Noble H, thanks for the analysis. You're welcome, man. And Zach Taylor, the other play with DWACW is to just sell them if/when relative value catches up. Plenty of time. Yeah, that's certainly a play with DWACW. That's something that could be very profitable as long as DWAC doesn't crash, right? We don't want DWAC moving down below 55. That is where we have our support. Hopefully it won't happen. It's not looking great, right? The fact that we have kind of been moving back in that direction and that we've touched it a couple of times now and are looking to be touching it another time. Ideally we won't, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. Hopefully we get a big bounce, but you never know. I'm still holding my DWAC. And PROG. PROG is still bouncing down a bit off of this $4 level that we hit earlier today a couple of times and couldn't quite hold, but overall, I wouldn't say PROG is done. PROG is doing decently well. We're below 380 right now, but it's not game over for PROG. I am still bullish on PROG stock. I think we could be seeing good stuff with them, though they are moving down. As soon as I say this, of course, some big volume comes in and pushes us down on a big red bar down to 373. It looks like we're moving down a little bit, but people were obviously going to be selling above 4. We just couldn't outpace the sellers, unfortunately, with the buyers, right? Not quite. And the shorts were probably very happy about that. Looking at the PROG shorts, they were probably very scared to see it get above 4. And it looks like some more of them have covered since we last checked, right? Down almost 3% now, 2.99% short interest change, negative 2.99%. So shorts are continuing to cover a little bit today, right? The bar change down 1 million shares. So 1 million shares have been unshorted today. So good stuff. The shorts are starting to cover, it looks like. Some of them are starting to get cold feet, realizing, hey, this thing isn't going to be as easy to push down as we thought. So good stuff with PROG. Happy about that. And why is DWAC down today? Well, unfortunately with DWAC, we have just been losing momentum over the past, let's pull up the 30-day chart. We've just been losing momentum with DWAC. You can see we had the initial pump, and while we've bounced off of 55 a couple of times, we're still waiting for a rally off of a catalyst, right? We want an actual catalyst to come out for DWAC. We want Trump to talk about it. We want someone related to Trump to talk about it. Anything to get some more action in the stock, to get some more people hearing about it and hyped about it and investing in it. So we just haven't had that we haven't had anyone talk about it for the past couple of weeks, and we're just waiting for that to happen. So it's just fluctuating. Unfortunately, right now it's fluctuating to the downside. So OCGN, says Jay Berger. We'll take a look at OCGN. Yep, up 1.6%. It looks like we are getting a little bit of a bounce off of $10. Fortunately, 10 has acted as a nice support level for us. If we look over, we'll pull out this chart right here. $10. Let's draw a line on it. Has acted quite nicely as a support for us. We have been saved by it seems, right? From this big downturn that we were experiencing in stock price, which, really killed out the price of the stock. If you look over the past 10 days, we were just dumping and dumping. Maybe even the 30-day chart would better exemplify it. But yeah, we lost a lot of value over the past 2 days, and now it looks like we may have an opportunity to regain some of it. We'll have to see if interest can be maintained. I will pull up the Ortex data for OCGN, and I'll pull up StockTwits because that's where it's most popular. We'll see what it has going for it on StockTwits. So on StockTwits, it is the number 2 highest rank, the most active, right behind Shiba Inu coin. Which, if we take a peek at that, let's see what it's doing right now. So yeah, it's starting to move back up 4.5% over the past 24 hours. It's starting to move back up decently. So we'll see what happens with Shiba Inu, but it has overtaken OCGN on StockTwits. Typically, OCGN is the top-ranked stock there, at least during the trading day. And there is something about the software license. There is something about the software license or whatnot, DWAC. Yeah, the software license, unfortunately, it looks like they were using Mastodon source code for Truth Social on DWAC stock. That's what we're talking about here. It looks like they were using the Mastodon open source software as a basis for theirs, which they then edited, unfortunately. unfortunately, they have a limited amount of time to respond to the request to either reveal their code or stop using it. So they can comply with the license just by revealing what their source code is, but obviously they don't want to reveal what their source code is. It would make it too easy to use itself, right? Other people could start using it. Some people might even try hacking it. Mastodon does not want them using the source code without following the license, though. So we're going to have to see over the next, I think, it's 20 or 21 days now. Someone has to respond to that letter or face a potential lawsuit over the use of Mastodon source code with DWAC stock for True Social. So we'll see what happens with it. But there's still a couple of weeks to go before anything needs to happen, right? It may be that they just end up waiting till the last minute before they make a decision. So KDNY up 23%, but can't find any reason, says Risky Seeds. Let's take a look. KDNY. Yeah, it's up big. It's up big. And, geez. So it looks like we're moving up yesterday as well. Chinook Therapeutics highlights 6 e-poster presentations at American Society of Nephrology Kidney this week. So they highlighted 6 e-poster presentations, building up some hype in the stock, it looks like. Let's see what their market cap is, if that would be enough potentially to move it all on its lonesome. KDNY. So $683 million market cap. Granted, that's after the big increase. But potentially... Oh, okay, wait. Presents data from BION 1301 phase 1/2 trial in patients with nephropathy and atrasentan program at the American Society of Nephrology Kidney last week. Okay. So, this is a bunch of medical mumbo jumbo, but it looks like some of their trials have been going well. And, I never try to dive too deep into what exactly it means. I'm not a medical expert. I have no interest in understanding that, but understanding that that's why the stock price is going up is somewhat important. So there you go. It looks like some of their trials have been going well. Honey Badger 6 is a good follow on StockTwits. Yeah, I tend to not follow anyone on StockTwits. I just use StockTwits to see the rankings for the most part. And I'm looking to buy PROG, BBIG, and AQST. These dips good entries. So PROG looks like the most promising in the short term out of all 3 of those, because we are nearing all-time highs, right? We're getting very close. If you look over here to breaking out of the $4 level, we've been using it as resistance these past couple of times that we've hit it, but PROG is a very interesting pattern over the past 30 days, just about, of pumping up, then moving down and consolidating for a bit, then pumping up again, then moving down and consolidating, then pumping up again, moving down and consolidating, then pumping up again, moving down and consolidating. It looks like we're on the next pump up right now. So good stuff with PROG. With BBIG, unfortunately, we're getting put below $5 a share. And what we're really waiting for with BBIG is the Thai dividend, which isn't coming out until December 27th. So around then, or likely, a week or two before then, is when I could see BBIG getting some more momentum as people get interested in it again. A lot of people just don't have that much patience and don't want to be holding this whole time. But it'll be, this is a potential dip to be buying on, right? I think that when the Thai dividend is more close to release, people will be buying back in to raise the stock price, which will raise the stock price. And we'll see what happens with BBIG. It'll be important that the company doesn't mess up again, right? Last time the Thai dividend was coming out, they ended up pulling the rug from under everybody and delaying it. So we'll see what happens with BBIG. They don't have the best management, obviously, if that's what they were going to do to people holding the stock. And people lost a lot of money on that, but that's unfortunate. So Workhorse, says Umair Saeed. WKHS. Let's see what we've got going on with Workhorse. We're down about 10% on the day. That's unfortunate. Let's see what news came out. Okay, so the Justice Department has opened an investigation into the company. Why is that? Let's see. So, just says that they're being investigated by the Justice Department. Let's see what happened with Workhorse Justice Department investigation. Okay, so electric van maker Workhorse is being investigated by the Justice Department, documents show. And, geez, Barron's or Wall Street Journal. They always want you to pay. Let's see, who would have this? No one has it. All right. Seeking Alpha is going to want money too. Anyways, they're being investigated. That's the point right there. So Vivi Ruddock, what did Vivi Ruddock say? Is based. I don't know. Anyways, Noble H. BBIG, what about the Form 10 I keep hearing about? Not too sure about the Form 10. I stopped looking at BBIG a bit ago. I'm waiting waiting until the Tide dividend is closer to release, and then I'll start looking into BBIG again, but I've not been keeping up with that. I don't think we're going to see too much action. I mean, maybe the Form 10 could do something. I haven't really looked at it. I know Jason Pollan's been covering it a bit, but I'm not too interested in the Form 10. I'm more interested in the Tide dividend. I think that's the one that's going to get this thing moving again. So for the next month and a half, I'm laying low with BBIG. Not going to be discussing it all that much on the channel. Maybe if something happens, then I'll look at it. But I think that the real mover is the Tide dividend, at least for people holding BBIG. I think that's what the main crowd was interested in. You could see that based off the stock price, right? Right before the dividend was getting to be recorded, the price rose a ton, and then as soon as it was announced it wasn't going to be recorded, then that the record date was delayed for the Tide dividend, the price fell a ton. So I think that's what's affecting the price mostly. But we'll see what happens with it. DWAC down 3%. It looks like we're finding a little support at 57. Hopefully we can maintain that. We don't move too much lower. That wouldn't be great, but what was the other stock that we were going to watch today? Yeah, we were going to look at those meme plays. AMC hasn't been doing great. It's up about 1%, so not the worst, but not the best. Not at lows of day right now, but it looks like we've been trending down a little bit since market open right here at 41.17. We're at 40.50. So AMC and GME just haven't had the best days, unfortunately. That's too bad, but what do you expect? They haven't had the best days for the past while. They haven't been doing great. It was looking a couple of days ago when they did surge up above 40, like maybe something was going to happen, but who knows? I think a lot of the AMC community isn't looking to buy more AMC necessarily, right? They just want to see the price go up currently, and that's the unfortunate part for AMC and GME. We're gonna have to see some new buyers coming in if we want the price to rise. So I just don't know if there are new buyers or if the community is kind of just holding it where it is and buying dips and not willing to push it up more. Ambition 2020 says 7th trade on Lucid. Merry Christmas. Nice. Yeah, let's see, where is Lucid now? Is it above 40? No, not above 40 yet. But yeah, we've been seeing good action with it. So looks like it's stagnated a little bit, bouncing between 39 and 39.25 for the past couple of bars. Nice. If I see red, I hodl, says Kitchener Leslie. Yep, I think that is typically, depending on the strategy, if it's long-term, that's a really good plan. Because, oftentimes you'll see little dips like what we saw with the SPY. Let's pull that up. Pull it back up over the 2-year chart. You saw this massive dip, and a lot of people were probably selling around here when volume was huge. People were fear selling on the SPY. And who'd have guessed that the government would swing into the rescue, start printing a bunch of money, and shoot us up in price, right? All-time highs pretty much every day is what we've been making on the SPY ever since COVID hit, right? So the apes turned into jacket first, says Jordan Israel Peterson. Yeah, yep. But yeah, I think holding over the long term makes a lot of sense if you see red. But if you're in a trade, sometimes it makes sense. If you have a stop loss set, if you've set a little price target that you have, and the trade is going against you, and it's a short term thing, and you don't want to hold the stock over the long term, I think it makes sense to sell. A lot of people get married to these stocks, and I'm not married to any stock, right? There's no stock There might be some that I'm holding long term, but no trades that I would take that I then wouldn't sell the stock if it dropped below a certain price, right? I'm not married to the stocks. I'm just trading them to make money, right? So unless it's a company that I love and I'm willing to invest in it over the long term, which I'm careful, I make that distinction before I enter the trade. I don't enter a trade and then decide to make it a long term position, typically at least. So we're at 10:58. We're getting very close to 11 o'clock, which is when we typically end the stream. At least nowadays, it looks like we'll be ending at 11 because that does actually provide me some more time to get other work done outside of YouTube and streaming and all that, which I do actually have a decent amount of work that I'd like to get done before the weekend. I like the weekends to be mostly time to recharge or relax. So it looks like we're near the end of the stream today, guys. The markets have been interesting to watch with y'all. And we've looked at a lot of stocks today, right? A lot of stocks have been doing pretty good, especially PROG. Very excited about that. We're down at $33.70 right now. Hopefully we can get back up above 4 by the end of the day. But that's what I got for you in this live stream. So hopefully y'all enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.